Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? It's Hillary, the marketing mom. I am glad to join you today on the Ready, Set, Grow show. And today is kind of like a little nuts and bolts day. I have missed a couple Wednesdays. So I wanted to take a little step back and share with you a couple things, nuts and bolts wise. All right. So this is for those who they're out there and they're selling. One of the things that, in our entrepreneur community that we talk about, a lot of people like to sell, but they don't have certain things in place, right? And those that are selling, they've got everything in place from telling you about the product, what the product does, the features, and everything. But they're missing these three elements. So if they even get somebody there to their page where they're going to have somebody buy, they're missing three elements that make the person say, I must have this. All right. And if you want to have people say, I must have this now, all right, you've got to do more than just sell the benefits. And I remember in our, I believe it was the branding training. Yes, our branding training on day 5 of the challenge. All right. So for those of you who are aware of the business challenge, the freedom challenge, we actually do nuts and bolts training on that. So if you want to jump in on that, let me know. Just hit a message below, type more info in the comments below, and I could share that with you. But one of the things in the branding that everybody trips up with, right? Everybody trips up with this is the benefits and the features of their product, right? But one of the things that I realize is that has been pounded into my head from I don't know when it comes to digital marketing are those three things that stop people and then suck them in. All right. And one is your headline. Okay. You've got to have that compelling headline that makes them say, whoa. And it's very similar like on your ads when you're doing Facebook advertising or whatever type of advertising you're doing. We call it the thumb stop, right? We got to get them to stop scrolling, which is the headline that makes them stop. Now the next part is, okay, you've got them stumped. There's this little piece, all right, this little piece that may seem, a little oblivious. Many people use it in video sales letters, but it could also be used in on a sales page, on a checkout page. Let's call it that, on a checkout page, not even a sales page. It could be used on a checkout page. What is called the lead, all right? It's leading up to the story. But interestingly enough, what it does is it weeds out those who stopped, but they're not really interested. All right. And why I emphasize on this is because like we talked about in that branding training last week on the day 5, I'll just say day 5 of the challenge because I can't remember if it was last week. But anyway, the a lot of people on their checkout page, they re-emphasize the features of the product. They re-emphasize all of these things. But as it's been said before, I think Perry Marshall said it, is that nobody ever went out to buy a drill. The reason they wanted a drill is because they wanted a hole in the wall or something like that. I didn't say it well. Somebody else in the comments could probably put the quote better for me, right? But the reality is, people don't want the product. People don't want what the product can do. They want what the product can do. All right. So your lead has to kind of like narrow down the people in a sense. And then the third piece, and this is going to be like one of my shortest lives ever for you. All right. The third piece to that is after the lead. All right. So I'll give you an example of filtering, right? Because this is something that literally, because of this lead, I jumped off, right? If you're making, what was it? If you're making upwards of $6 million, don't read, no, I can't remember. Oh gosh. Basically, it filtered people out, right? So 6 million was the threshold. So as soon as you saw 6 million, if you were making 6 million, then you continue to read. If you won't, you've automatically bounced. All right. So yes, I'm not making 6 million yet. All right. Anyway, so that was the lead. And you see how it automatically, the headline probably got me, but then the lead filters out your ideal customer. Okay. And this is where a lot of people get caught because they think I'm selling a drill. Everybody needs a drill. No, everybody doesn't need a drill. The person who desperately needs to put a hole in the wall because their wife has been nagging them about putting up a picture needs the drill. That's the person that needs the drill. And I take that example straight from the challenge, right? But the reality is, You have to get down to the people who want what you have now. And you've got to have it set up, right? The third piece is the story, believe it or not. So after you filter people out, people are going to be like, wow, that's me. And this is the mistake that most of us make. We jump straight into selling the product. And that's where we don't make the sale. If you jump straight into selling the product, then you've lost your ideal customer. Because if your ideal customer gets past the headline, gets past all of that filtering, they're ready to hear how this is going to help them. And that's where the story begins. Now, the story could be your story, it could be somebody else's story, how this product benefited them. But the story has to make the person who's reading that information connect so well that they sit here, pull out their wallet while reading the sales letter, take out their best credit card, and they're just waiting to see when the checkout button pops up. That's what your story has to really engender. All right. And those are just three things. Now, there are many other elements to a checkout page, a sales page. All right. But the three things that really drive it home as that headline, the lead that filters everything out, filters your real customers, the real potential customers, and then the story. The story hooks them like no other, so that when you start talking about features and benefits and everything and giving the guarantees and telling them you get 100% back guarantee, blah, 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 you've got all your testimonials, they're already sold, all right, because of the story that you told them. Because of the story. And most business owners, most people selling online, they just miss that piece. And it makes such a difference, because what you want is not a million customers, but you want 100 raving fans who will continue to buy from you month after month, year after year. You don't want to be out there always hustling, trying to fill your pipeline with a million people because you're selling a $20 item. All right? No, that's not you. And because that's not you, you know that by telling a story that hits here for that customer, whoever's landing on your sales page, you know they're going to love what you have to offer, and they're going to come back because you made a connection with them. All right. That's one thing that when we went digital, how many ever years ago, we kind of lost that human touch. We're human beings. What's on the other end of that computer is not a number. It's not a lead. That's a human being whose life you're either going to change or create havoc with. And I hope that whatever it is that you're selling online, whatever it is that you're doing online, it's there to make a difference and to help people. All right. So yes, this was a nuts and bolts and it ended up very emotional for whatever reason. But three simple things that you need to help you convert your checkout page, your sales page into something phenomenal. A compelling headline that makes people stop and say, hey, that's me. A lead that really filters them out. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not me. Oh, yes, this is me. They're talking to me. It's as if they were sitting down right next here. And then the story that convinces them above all that you have the solution for what they need. All right. So have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody, today was another episode of our Ready Set Grow Show, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye, everybody.